Hey everybody, it looks like I am live now, and I wanted to talk to y'all about where we stand in the real estate market right now in Hendricks County, in Indiana, and also just kind of like nationally, and let you know all the numbers and kind of give you a recommendation at the end of what I would suggest. Average sales price, the median sales price of houses when they sell is $245,000. And that has, steadily declined over the last few years. It continues to, or sorry, steadily inclined over the last few years, and we foresee that it will increase again probably in 2021 due to this inventory problem that I'm going to get into here in just a second. But 245,000 is the average price of home selling in the Hendricks County area. Now, days on market, how quickly are they selling? A lot of you continue to hear that houses are selling very quickly, and so it remains true. No matter the price point, the average days on market is around 22. So the average days on market is around 22 days. Now, I will tell you that that number obviously gets skewed. It's hard when you're playing with averages because houses that are less than this average price point are selling a lot quicker than that. And then homes that are much more than this price point take a little bit longer to sell than that. So just consider this 22 days on market is an average. If homes are less, they're going to sell a lot quicker than that generally, as long as they're in good shape. And then the average price per square footage of homes in the Hendricks County area is around $125 a square foot. So you have to be careful with that because that's usually only factoring in above ground square footage. And so before you just take $125 times the square footage of your home, it would be smart to, talk to us or an appraiser or anybody to get a really good recommendation on what you believe or what we believe your home would be worth in the market. Looking at the comps. Now, so this is kind of like right here, this stuff right here. This is the problem in our market right now. It's inventory. There is hardly anything for sale. And I want to break it down nationally and then in our region, the Midwest, locally, where we serve here on the west side of Indy, and then talk about how many months worth of houses are on the market. So nationally, across the whole U.S., there is a 20% there's 20% lackage of inventory compared to last year. So inventory is down 20% compared to last year, which is very significant. Where there were 100 homes listed in an area last year nationally, there's only 80. And as you know, housing demand is up right now. So that's a challenge. Well, I've seen statistics that in the Midwest, obviously where we're living, the inventory is down like 42%. So on the coastal regions like California and New York City, their inventory is still down, but more and more people are listing because of the COVID. Obviously the pandemic, there were secondary homes that people had that they didn't want anymore, they can't use anymore because it's harder to travel. And so they're trying to sell those homes. But in the Midwest, the steady Midwest, our inventory is down as much as 42% in the Midwest as an entire region, which that's kind of an issue, right? Finding homes is a challenge. So for every 100 homes that were on the market last year, there's only 68 homes that are on the market this year. So that really poses a challenge of finding a property. I know that it's difficult right now. Local inventory. So according to our stats, our local inventory here in Guilford Township, Hendricks County, and this way, it's only down about 22%. So we're kind of right in line with the national average. Now if I were to dissect these numbers a little bit more, I think the true story behind this only being 22% compared to the Midwest's 42% decline is that in Hendricks County, ever since I've been in the business, which is 6 years or so, it's been hard to find property in Hendricks County from the beginning for me. So it's a desirable place to live. People aren't moving out of the west side very often. And so our inventory is kind of always lower than some of maybe the surrounding counties or the broader picture of the Midwest. And so our inventory is not really down as much as the whole region because it's kind of always less. But 22% decrease is still significant. Again, so every 100 homes that were on the market last year, there's only about 78 homes that are on the market out here on the west side of Indianapolis this year. So that poses a challenge. Now, this is interesting. There's a stat that realtors track that basically asks how many months worth of inventory is there in the market, in the housing market, based on how many people want homes. And right now, it's pretty crazy, but there's about 0.7's worth of a month's inventory in the market, meaning that there's less than 1 month's worth of inventory in the market based on the housing market demand. So this drives home the whole picture of, yes, homes are selling for more than they ever have, and they're also selling quicker than they ever have. It's because of all of this. That's really, really great when you have a house to sell and you know where you're going or you have something lined up. So a relocation seller, somebody who's moving to another place or another state and they have housing lined up, makes a ton of sense right now, right? They could sell for more than they ever thought they would, and they would sell very quickly and easily. Someone wanting to buy a new construction home. So if there's somebody who has a new house that they're building or have been building for the last 6, 7, 8 months, and it's time for them to sell their home, it makes a lot of sense right now. The challenge is somebody that hasn't identified their next property, or they don't know where their next property is going to be. And because they'll likely sell very quickly, and then it'll be tough for them to find something else to move to, especially pre-existing, because of this lack of inventory. So let's talk about rates one more time, or not one more time, but for the first time today, I should say. Rates are historically low too. So we've seen interest rates right now for 30 years dipping down to around that 2.8 to 2.9%. And that's just crazy to think about. Less than 3% interest rates on a 30-year loan. That means you are paying very little in interest compared to years past. So your buying power is really great right now. It's just the inventory is kind of keeping us from finding anything. You know, the next popular loan type is like a 15-year mortgage. And for a 15-year mortgage, I've seen rates as low as like 2.25%, which is absolutely wonderful. I mean, again, buying power is fantastic. You can move up into a house that you probably never would have thought you could afford because of interest rates, or you can refinance and really bring your monthly payment down right now because of these rates. Definitely something to be considering if you haven't done so. My recommendation on refining and getting these better rates is I probably would only do it if you feel like you'll be in the house for another at least 1.5 or 2 years, because the costs to refi, depends on each lender, but maybe around on average $2,500 to $3,500 to refi if you need an appraisal. And the money that you would save is going to kind of even out about that 1.5 year or 2 year mark, depending on your house. So that's where the rates are. So this is the challenge, right? People are really in great buying power, but we have nothing to buy right now. So my recommendation is several, but right now I would say if you don't have anything that you've identified to move into, you're not building a house, you're not relocating to somewhere that you already have a home identified, I'd wait for a little bit, okay? Because here's what I know is pretty true here. This huge inventory shortage is not going to get solved overnight. And there isn't going to be a surplus of homes that just hit the market in one day. And so that keeps prices stable where they're at, or even continuing to rise. So if you own a home, what I would do is wait it out until you find the opportunity of the next home. And if it's a great fit, you're going to have to pounce on it really quick. All right. Now, there are options that you have regarding equity in your home. If you own a home and you have a lot of equity in it, okay, and with the current low rates, you could look into what's called a bridge loan, where they pull out the equity of your home that you currently live in and use it as a down payment on the next home, so that you can write a competitive offer that's non-contingent on your home selling, get that house, get it under contract, and then quickly put your home on the market. And due to the low inventory, most people are not having to pay 2 mortgages at a time to do this. They may pay 1 interest-only payment or 2 interest-only payments for using that equity. They found their next dream home. They were able to go up in price and quality, likely because of the lower interest rates. And then they can sell their home. They weren't homeless. They never had to experiment with being homeless. And then they could sell their home for these really great prices. Again, these are averages here. So just some recommendations would be kind of maybe wait it out until you find that appropriate property. Also consider new construction maybe. So if you can't find anything that's pre-existing, you can consider new construction. One caveat here is new construction is very expensive right now. So the cost to build houses right now has increased because of COVID. So you have to be thinking that if you're going to build something new, you're probably going to be paying a premium on it. Now, it might weigh out, and that might be totally fine because of this right here, because rates are really, really great. All things to be thinking about right now. I just wanted to share with you the housing market statistics, kind of our inventory problem that we're having right now. And I do foresee in the spring, obviously, there is going to be some more homes available for us to choose from. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I hope you all are well, and take care. Happy 2021. We'll make it a better year than 2020. Take care.